Hi everybody, I'm here to bring you another video today. So as I said last time on my weekly vlog video that I would be doing reviews on the game consoles that I own, well, today I'm gonna review one of them. The famous Power Joy. Yep, I own one of these. It is a Power Joy Famiclone type thing, you know. It's shaped out of a Nintendo 64 controller. And it's kind of weird how Famiclones, take the shape or design of an actual control or console system, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Well, anyways, let's take a look at it. So you have your D-pad, start switch, focus, there you go. On switch, off, and another on switch. I will explain what the difference between these two on switches are. And this little button down here, focus. Okay, it's not gonna want to focus. Whatever. Well, anyways, this is a reset button. Also, now you focus. Whatever. Samsung probs. Just kidding. And start select. And this is either the A or B or BA, whatever. And the turbo button's up here. And it's got a little joystick on here. Now, for those who own a Super Joy 3, the Power Player Super Joy 3 Famiclone, which by the way looks exactly like this, only it's slightly different. Well, that analog joystick does nothing. But on this one, it actually does something. It actually works, surprisingly. And to be honest, I would recommend using this joystick instead of the D-pad, because on the D-pad on this one is horrible. Like, you literally have to force the buttons in order for the thing to respond. And I'm starting to hate autofocus for some reason. Well, anyways, yeah, I would definitely recommend this joystick here. It actually works a lot better. Well, anyways, the on switches. Now, this particular on switch is actually the switch that powers the AC or the DC switch or DC. Bleh, can't speak. When the switch is to the right, that means it'll work on DC power, which is what this is for. Yep, this is used. You plug in the 9-volt DC adapter onto this thing, plug it into the wall, and you're all set. Well, anyways, that switch is for the system to run on DC power. Well, this switch actually runs on batteries. Yeah, and I will show you where the batteries are in just a little bit. Okay, I am really starting to hate autofocus. Ugh. Thank you. Well, anyways, the overall quality of this system, I mean, yeah, it feels kind of cheap, but it's actually not that bad compared to the Super Joy 3 Famiclone, which I used to have but sadly broke. So I got this one as a replacement. This one actually feels pretty good. It doesn't feel that light. It actually feels very nice. And buttons actually are pretty cool, Buttons aren't too bad. Uh, very decent button layout. But yeah, the only minus is the D-pad. It's really crappy. I don't recommend using the D-pad. I'd go with the joystick, because it actually works a lot better. And this little reset button. By the way, I forgot to mention this little red LED. That means that the thing is on, obviously, and shut off. Now, what's this little thing here for? Well, this thing actually acts like a little light gun too. I'm serious. There's a little switch down here, and it's actually very decent. You can actually hold it like this, and now that I look at it, it looks similar to a actual gun. But overall, works pretty good. Although when I got this one, the tip is broken. I got this at a Goodwill for $4. It was originally $8, but they had a half off sale and I got it for $4. So that was pretty nice. So let's take a look at the back of this unit. Let me just position my phone. Sorry, I don't have a thing. And first thing that you see, you have a cartridge slot. So this particular cartridge slot is actually a Famicom cartridge slot, and I will show you the cartridge that this thing came with. Before inserting cartridge or connection second player handset, always switch Power Joy to off position. And they forgot to put the period after position. Yeah, I know, it's kind of strange. Oh, anyways, so this thing, normally in a real Nintendo 64 controller, this would be where the memory card would go. But on this particular unit, batteries. Yep, this is where the batteries go. And this one takes 4 AAA batteries. I don't want to take them out right now, because then it's going to be a mess to put them all back in. But yeah, this is where the batteries would go on this Famiclone. It's kind of bulges out a little bit top, but that's okay. And let's take a look at this side over here. Power Joy, this device complies, yada yada yada. If there is a loss of function by electrostatic shock, please unplug or press the reset button to restore the function. Okay, so in other words, if I get shocked, all I have to do is push the reset button and then I'll get shocked even more. But the first thing would always do so well. And obviously, on top of that, it says made in China. Obviously, this is where this thing is made in. And the bottom, it's got a second player controller port, and it uses the standard 9-pin Famiclone controller port. Unfortunately, this won't work on a Sega Genesis or Atari 2600 controller. It'll only work with Famiclone controllers. So, it's got this long wire that basically goes to these. Again, this is where you plug in the end tip of the 9-volt DC power. These are this is the video, and this is your mono sound. Yeah, as you can see, it's got the yellow and white and all that. Well, let's see what the second player controller looks like. Yep, looks like this piece of crap. And I don't know what this controller is ripped off of, but yeah, here it is. Feels a lot lighter than the actual unit itself. Let's see, we have nothing on the back. maybe one of these days I'll take it apart and I'll show what the inside of it looks like. But anyways, got a D-pad. Actually, this D-pad works a lot better than on the actual console itself. You know, at least with this one you don't have to push it down with a lot of force. Have no idea what this is for. And these buttons, I don't know which one is start or select, but yeah, they're there. I assume this one would be start and this one would be select, or vice versa. And the buttons has triangle, circle, X, and square. And I am hating autofocus right now. Let me switch it back to manual. There it goes. There. Now I'm in manual mode. So I don't know if this is A or B or B or A, vice versa. And these ones are the turbos, obviously. Again, I don't know what this is for. Fake shoulder buttons. Again, it's very light. And here's the standard 9-pin controller port thingy. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this won't work on a real setup either. It won't work with the real game console like the Sega Genesis or the Atari 2600. But it will work with this or any other Famiclone. Now I will show you how you plug it in. By the way, the snoring you hear is my dog. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Let me see if... There. Yep. And that's what it looks like when it's plugged in. Got your player 1 controller / console and player 2 all set up just like that. By the way, oh wait, never mind. No. Well, anyways, back to this cartridge slot. Get those out of the way. Yeah, back to the cartridge slot. So I said earlier that this is a Famicom cartridge slot. And it looks like this. This is actually the Power Joy's own Famicom cartridge, which is basically a multi-cart. So it's the Power Joy PJ-008. Huh. That's funny. On this cartridge, it has the dash, but oh, it has the dash on there too. Okay. Now I was just making sure. So this is how you insert the cartridge. There it goes. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but that's okay. And it looks like that when the cartridge is inserted. But there is one major flaw to this thing. If you just slightly move the cartridge, whatever you're playing will either glitch out or crash. And yeah, it's not... I mean, the overall design of this thing is not too bad, but the bad part is where the cartridge slot is located. You know, I give it kind of a... Yeah. But yeah, so... Okay, I'm gonna have to set my phone down for a minute. There we go. So, this particular multi-cart has 84 games built into the system, or built into this cartridge. By the way, I should mention that playing this thing without a cartridge has, I think, about 10 games built into this thing. You know, when you plug it in, or when you turn it on without the cartridge, it'll boot up a menu with, I think, 10 games. I'll show you the games in a later video. Right now I'm just going over the overall specs of this thing. Well, anyways, this one contains 84 games. And there actually is 84 games. There are no repeats or anything like the Super Joy 3, where it supposedly contains 76,000 games in one, where in reality I think it only has like, I don't know, maybe 70 something or so, and the rest are just all repeated. I just don't understand, like why they repeat everything, why they do that. But anyways, Cartridge feels light, kind of cheap looking, but what do you expect? And there's the back. I'll let you could pause the video right there, and I'll let you can read the stuff there for yourself. I will say that there is a lot of grammatical errors on this thing. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Well, I've opened this cartridge before, and I will open it again. See? Just like that. Yeah. This small little circuit board is where the 84 games are at. They're all in here. And if you can also notice that this all Famicom cartridges are 60 pin. So this is a 60 pin connector. And you could actually play Nintendo games with the adapter. I don't own any Nintendo games, so I can't really demonstrate how that works, but yeah, anyways, this is where the 84 games are built in. This is the setup itself. Yeah, just looks weird. Well, now we'll simply put this back on. It's actually not too hard opening this thing. Let's see. There it goes. Yeah. There. Sorry about that. And again, I will show you how you insert it. Just put it in like there and like so. Whoops. There it goes. Yeah. Now for the what was I gonna say? Shoot, I was gonna say something and now I forgot. Oh yeah, the sound quality of this thing is terrible. It is not. It doesn't sound like what real games should sound like. They sound terrible. Obviously, because it's a Famiclone and it's based on a Nintendo on a chip type of deal, where basically the audio is screwed up. In what ways? If you've seen other people's YouTube videos where they show their Famiclone, of whether being this one or some other one, yeah, they'll basically say the same thing too. But yeah, well, I guess this is pretty much I'm gonna show you for right now. I will try to upload this first part. I'm actually gonna divide this to, I think, maybe 3 parts. So this will kind of be like the first part where I show the overall system. So probably the next part will be the gameplay of this without the cartridge that I could show you. Yeah. Again, this takes 4 AAA batteries, whereas the Super Joy 3 takes 4 AA batteries. And yeah, so this is my first part of the Power Joy review, and I hope that I will have this one uploaded and upload the next one, which again I said it'll be the overall set. Oh, I will mention this. The light gun function, it will not work on LCD TVs, HD TVs, etc. You have to use an older television set to actually play the games that require light gun. Yeah. I know it sucks, but you know, it's welcome to the 21st century. well, well, stay tuned for the next part, which again I said it will be the gameplay. And yeah. Alright. Later.